Hey Planty People, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you guys here today because we have an unboxing, and I feel like I haven't done an unboxing on my YouTube channel in ages, and that's just because I've been broke. I am still broke, but I really wanted to get a plant, and I got a wishlist plant, and it's one of those plants that you don't really put on your wish list, because I feel like a lot of the times plants that are on my wish list are plants that I feel like aren't really that tangible, at least usually. Sometimes the plants that I have on my wish list are just plants that I'm just like looking for them to be a very specific price, and I'm just waiting for that to happen. But this is a plant that I have been wanting to get for ages. If you have been with me on my planty journey and been subscribed and watching my YouTube channels for a while now, I have actually already bought this plant, but I bought a 1-node leaf cutting, and that did not go very well at all. So I decided to make a good investment and get a fully established version of that plant. This year, one of my New Year's resolutions is to stop buying cheap cuttings, even though it's cheaper. To stop buying things that maybe it's $20, but if I spent an extra like $30 or $40, I could get a well-established plant. I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of buying the cheaper option just because it's cheaper. I've decided that from now on, I will only be buying plants that I really love, and only buying plants that I think that are in a more mature state, that have a higher chance in survival. And I don't want to be just throwing $50 out the window, and I know that you guys don't either, so I think that we should all board that train if we can and try and get plants that will last us and make it through the night, because I know that my cutting of this plant, like the very next day, the leaf immediately yellowed. I just knew it was too good to be true. I jumped on it so fast because it was such a cheap price, and I should have known. I should have known that it was too good to be true. And I tried to wet stick propagate that node, and it failed miserably. I tried it in several different mediums, and it just didn't work, and I finally just threw it away. So now I've got such a good plant, and I can't wait to unbox it with you guys. Also, I wanted to mention while I'm unboxing this guy that I am thinking about doing some YouTube memberships. I think I've only got 3 levels so far in the group. The first level is going to be an entry level, which is $4.99. I believe it's $4.99. I don't have it like right in front of my face, so I'm just going off of memory. $4.99, and then you can get into a cool Discord group with me and some other friends. I have another level above that will get you early access to my videos, plus a few other things, and then I have a tier right above that one that'll be a little bit pricier. You get all the amenities of the other 2 groups, except you guys will be the first ones to know whenever I'm going to be doing any sort of plant sales. Plus, I'll give you guys a heavy discount if you want to join that group. I don't have that up and running yet. I just wanted to kind of like gauge and see if any of you guys would be interested in that. Let me know in the comments down below. I promise it won't hurt my feelings, so just let me know in the comments down below. And if you are interested in it, let me know of some perks maybe that you would be looking for, and maybe I can factor that into some of the tiers, or maybe create a whole new tier. I don't know. Let's get to the plant. Okay, so it has it wrapped. Oh, she wrote my name on there. That was really sweet. I did have something that happened whenever I was purchasing this guy. The seller reached out to me, and she told me that the bottom leaf of this plant had actually fallen off. And at that point, whenever they tell you something like that, you have 2 things that you can do, or actually 3 things you can do. You can say, 1, you don't want the plant. 2, yes, you want the plant. Or 3, in my case, I bartered a little bit. I was like, well, if it lost the bottom leaf, I'll take it if you give me a $20 discount. And she said yes. I got $20 off of the grand total, which made me very, very happy. I'm happy that sometimes I can get out of my comfort zone and actually try and talk to people like that, because I'm very, very shy and I hate any type of haggling, and I just feel uncomfortable doing it. But I'm glad that I made that little splurge, because if she wasn't gonna give me the $20 discount, I was gonna say I wasn't even gonna get it. It looks like the packaging has been very basic so far, which is fine. This was from a Florida seller, so it didn't have very far to go. This is Friday and it shipped like Tuesday night, so I can't wait for you guys to see what it is. I see it. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that leaf. Oh, got some floofies. This is my Philodendron melanochrysum. Oh, and it's got a really nice new growth point right there, if you guys can see. Oh, it looks really, really good. This leaf is kind of damaged, but I knew that because it was the exact picture listed. There's a little bit crinkling on this leaf, which is not the best, but this leaf looks beautiful. That looks like, that's gorgeous. That's like thumbnail material. That is beautiful. I was hoping that the leaves would be a little bit larger, but this is fine. I'm totally happy with what the foliage looks like, especially since there's this brand new growth coming out right there, and it looks like it's gonna be pretty good size as well. So let's go ahead and look at the root ball really quick and see what that looks like. So it looks like she wrapped the root in sphagnum moss, which is fine. The moss is still really good and damp. And this is what the ball looks like at the moment. Let me take some of the moss off. Okay, so I took the moss off as gently as I possibly could, and this is what it looks like. There's some really good, healthy white roots. Like, I don't see any rot whatsoever. Maybe like one here and there. So let me take that back. But for the most part, this looks like a really, really good and happy plant. Yay! So right here is when I should have taken a little better look at the root system, because obviously the leaf dropping and the seller telling me about it should have been a gigantic red flag, but I was too excited about the plant and too excited to get the discount to pass up that opportunity. But right now, this plant now has 0 roots because they have all since rotted off. There's not one nice white juicy root left, and I'm very, very upset and very saddened by it. And that's just something that you gotta watch out for. You guys should learn from my mistakes, and if a seller reaches out to you and says that something's a problem, you should probably just take that as a red flag and don't get it and move on. This has happened to me twice, so don't let it happen to you. It really sucks, and there's gonna be a lot of time and effort that I'm gonna have to put into this plant in hopes of recovering it. So yeah, learn from my mistakes. Don't do this. Comment down below if you have also like taken the cheaper route instead of just like splurging on something that would be more well established and more mature, and then it didn't go in your favor. Let me know in the comments down below if you have done this, because I can't be the only one. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pot him up really quick, and I'm actually going to use most of the moss that is currently in, and I will show you guys that now. Okay guys, now I've got it all potted up, and instead of doing just straight up sphagnum moss like I thought I was going to do, I decided to experiment a little bit. So for the mixture, I would say that I did about 1/3 of perlite / soil mixed up, 1/3 orchid bark, and then 1/3 sphagnum moss, just to kind of like promote humidity. I don't know, I just really like using sphagnum moss these days. If you've been with me for a while now, you will know that sphagnum moss used to really intimidate me. I felt like it was like one of those things that only really advanced plant people could use and maintain and work with, but it's actually become one of my favorite mediums, and I recommend it to a lot of people if they're comfortable using it. Just like rooting, I always recommend water for beginners, and then if you want to dabble in other types of mediums, I always recommend moss because I don't know, I just have a lot of fun with that. But I did put it on one of my orchids poles. I swiped it from one of my orchids. I also use these types of little shish kebab type of poles from sometimes people ship their plants in them, and I just reuse them as poles because I don't know, I think it works, and I think it helps my plants. It keeps my plants upright and steady. It isn't the most stable at the moment because if you look right over here, I would love to attach this part of the stem to the pole. However, it would be really interfering with that new growth. So I'm gonna wait until the new growth fully comes out, and then I will attach her up there as well and have her a little bit more secure than she is right now. I'm very excited to have this plant. I mean, I just can't stop looking at this leaf. This leaf just steals the show for me. I think it's so beautiful. Comment down below if you have a melanochrysum or if a melanochrysum is on your wish list. I'm so excited to have this guy and to just finally check him off for good. Definitely recommend. Any care tips and tricks are fully acceptable down in the comments down below. Just like, let them rain. Let me have those tips and tricks. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.